Never like the Kardashians, man. I think it's gonna. I'm gonna like click it and make it go live now. But
all right.
I'm assuming the audio levels are fine as well.
Yep. At least I think. Yeah, everything's good on my end.
Yeah, I think everything's G at the moment. Ladies and gents, men and women, what's the buzz? Shmee Man Typho, back with another Dead End podcast. Happy Sunday. We normally do these on Saturdays, but people be busy, and the weekend can be a very busy time, especially whenever you got a job. But today, we got the usual. Me man Chalant, Eric's here, and we got the best recyclable man in the whole of the speed battle community. We got the Flaming Dumpster, the Garbador, Garbamize, Dumpster Fireman. What's the poppin', brother? Hope you're having a good one.
Oh, hello, sirs, and I guess for viewers, ma'ams.
There is no ma'am viewers around here, man. Only zombies.
There might be. Who knows? We have one.
Well, we're joined by the main man, Garbage, who obviously has been in the game since nearly as long as I have. Very long time. Man's been given the treatment. He's been bullied before for being, wanting tarnation. You're totally an out, Garbage. He's obviously developed his reputation and solidified himself as like one of the top players of the game. And would you like to kind of like give your perspective on that and your journey along the way of where you've come?
I just need to talk about, I guess, how I ended up in this situation type of thing.
Sure. Yeah, kind of like that.
Ooh, I'd be interested.
My journey to installing this game was very boring. I was just bored one day at university and was like, oh, let's check out a Sonic game. I had literally never heard of Speed Battle before, and then I just installed it because it was the first one on there that wasn't Sonic Dash. I believe this was in about early April.
Yes.
Initially I was extremely bad. One of my favorite characters is Omega, so I used Omega a lot.
Our
I
Phoenix
don't
back.
remember if
Our
the
Phoenix
was a
back.
thing or not, but I was really bad.
Oh, well, you're never
This was
you're
also
never
right
bad.
before.
But what are you saying?
I mean, this was like before seasons, but like, I remember that, I think I barely made it to tier 6 as season started. Season 1, I was trying really hard, and despite my best efforts, I only made it to 5.4k.
Hey, we all had trouble season
So
one.
that was
Everyone had trouble.
that wasn't great. But after that, I just kind of like just continued to play around, just like trying new characters, and eventually I started getting a little bit better. Ended up joining Discord. I think about season 4. Been hanging out with people since then. Met some really nice people. I eventually got to the point where I was able to make my first Hall of Fame. I think it was season 6. I had to stay up till 3 a.m. to do that and play a game at 2:30 a.m. But
the sacrifices for speed battle, am I right?
Worth.
yeah, then eventually I got level 15. Started making some top 10s after a bit. Had some success, and yeah, I guess that's about it. Things are getting worse for me. I'm not able to handle the power creep anymore, but I mean, I'm still happy. I mean, I guess I'm still happy with what I've done. I'm pretty happy with what I've been able to do on YouTube, so it's definitely not a loss overall. And again, nothing else. I met some of my best friends through this game, and really, that in and of itself is a win.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's that kind of optimism that like makes a professional player in this game be so good at what they do, in my opinion. And like obviously,
Yeah, like even if this game were to shut down, I'd still be around with the people I met in this game.
you connect with them through
Yes,
other ways,
sir.
completely different things other than speed battle. But to like develop on your like story a bit more, I found it like very, very fascinating. Kind of like how like everyone kind of starts off with like the low level struggle whenever they're playing speed battle, man, and like me and you are no different when it came to having player level disadvantage in the game. Like, how do you feel with like how they incentivize people to invest money in this game nowadays? Like, do you see it ever like tempting you ever or anything like that?
I'm at the stage where the most expensive purchase I have made is a vault, and primarily I still use those for just investing in characters I like for example, Jingle Amy. I'm a big Amy fan. She's my most used character, of course, so
Yeah.
I just got one for her because I like it, but like I haven't gotten to vault just because a character is overpowered. Good Lord is tempting, but I don't want to give in with that just because if I'm if I can only get by with using something overpowered, then the game just isn't fun. But also, isn't that fun if I'm only fighting overpowered characters? So kind of a lose-lose. But
yeah, it's quite.
If I get to the point where I'm like forced to use someone like Infinite, I'm just not gonna play.
Yeah, speaking from experience, like having to use Infinite is actually such a terror. Like you honestly feel I just feel this terrible, horrible feeling like whenever I'm playing against my friends, especially on like ranked, because like you're taking away like 30 to 40 minutes of their time just because you need to get a +4 or a 5. Like you shouldn't like have to use something like that and ruin people's days. It's a bit of a balls. But like that's what you mentioned, like the power creeper there whenever you were like explaining the whole retrospective of like your season's experience. Like when do you think was like the worst this like meta has ever been? Like do you think there was ever a point where it was actually worse than this in speed battle?
No. I think that in some degree, the ban meta was the season war before they nerfed the ban. That one was just complete misery. But I'd honestly rather re-experience that than like experience like a few seasons ago before the Werehog and Minor Infinite Earths where they were at just the absolute worst. Just I could not do anything. But like it's almost the nature of the players using Infinite almost makes this one the worst one. But it's really tough to tell. It's really between the last few or the banned one.
Yeah, that's for sure. Eric, what do you make of like
season 12? That one was pretty bad too. But...
Oh yeah, it was pretty atrocious. Man, is that the camera season or is that? No.
That was the camera season and the 7 Metal Sonics and Hops season.
Oh yeah.
I was one of the people not Metal Sonics, so you can see how that went.
Yeah, Metal Sonic's definitely undergone a lot of goddamn change. It'd be so funny to see him today if he had what he used to have back in the day. It would be mental.
I want to steal the Supersonic boost. Let me do it.
Facts. What do you think of like the whole divide now between like the Werehog and the Infinite nerf gangs? Everyone wanting buffs for Supersonic, and then people wanting nerfs for Werehog, but not Unicorn Cream, or for Werehog and Infinite, but not Unicorn Cream. Or
okay,
like...
first of all, if you want a Supersonic buff, please go away. Like, I understand he's kind of hard to use, and it's kind of like an easy force sometimes, but like, that's what the character's supposed to be. High risk, high reward. Yeah. And if you can't take the risk, use someone else.
Yeah, use someone else. Just don't use him.
Especially because they got rid of his worst track. That does take away part of the risk with using him.
Would you say last season, man, did you find any character should be like underrated, so to speak? Something that would like perform a lot better than you'd expect against like what's going on in the game right now?
This is going to be kind of backwards. Like, I know this is kind of a weird pick, but like Percival, I think is kind of underrated. Now I know this is kind of a weird thing to say because like, okay, Percival is like borderline top 5 considered, but like one thing I was kind of thinking is like, could she be better than like a Unicorn Cream or like type character? Because like I feel like Percivals just in general get a lot more success because they aren't just one-trick ponies.
Yeah, for sure.
Like I know everybody hates Unicorn Cream and Rainbow Blast, understandably so, but like I honestly think that if you had both max, you get more success out of Percival just because he's more versatile.
Yeah.
So like I honestly do feel like you could argue she is the best character other than those two, and really she was the only character other than those two I saw people consistently able to climb with.
Yeah. Mr. Eric over here.
No, nobody else really was able to do so.
Yeah, Eric, what did you think of like using Percival in your experience during last season? Obviously, you thrived a lot more than all the other ones. You got to 69, 78 or something, which was colossal, very good. Like, what did you think of having the race Infinites and Werehogs and Supersonics and the Unicorn Creams and the band, etc.? Like, how did that go for you?
Really, it's been pretty AIDS, but for the most part, I was able to pull through. Now, I only peaked at 69, 78, because I was just getting gate kept 7K. I wanted to get 7K with Percival just to prove to everyone that I can climb with a character that's not broken. And I'm actually in awe considering like the amount of progress I made, because I only decided to invest in Percival last season because I was just having fun early season. I was using her at level 7, I believe, just wrecking everyone. And I decided to put more rings into her and see what she could really do, because she had potential. I knew she did.
Yeah.
Reba was the only person to really like use her really. Like Neon Gamer, Turbo, they're all right, I guess, but Pony was just outstanding at the time.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah.
What do you think of like? What do you all think of like Turbo and like Neon Gamer? Like these undermined kind of like sort of Percival players? Do you think they like use the characters to the max potential, or do you think it's just using the AoE effect primarily similar to a Werehog player would? Like, what would you make that comparison on? Like, what would you say about that?
I say both of them use are more like Tangle than Werehog, just
Yeah.
like try to like creep up on you and then try to boost, which I guess is kind of what Werehog does, but like they are willing to use lava bombs and stuff like that, so it's not like Werehog where most of them just don't even use storm clouds, which annoys me to no end as a person who uses shadow a lot. But that aside,
Yeah, that leads me into like what I was going to talk about next, which is like, like Werehog's like versatility, man. Like the fact that he could be used in every single track and still speed run to the finish line quicker than anyone else can. Like I was using him in party mode, man, for a while there. Like I get pretty bored, and I would just be dark blasting inside lane every track. And I recorded a few races, and it came to my attention that like he's finishing races like maybe 4 to 5 seconds quicker than an infinite sandbagging would, which I found really like worrying, man. Like imagine if level 12 were to just dark blast inside lane on its own for an entire race, it would get so far ahead. Like these nerfs, man, like what do you think of these nerfs? Because obviously a lot of people aren't very satisfied given a lot of the name changes we've seen over the course of the season. What do you expect?
You mean the last batch of nerfs?
Yeah, the current ones that we have now, like with the Phantom Dash reduction, what else did Infinite get, man? I think was that all he got?
That was it.
Oh my god,
Yep,
man.
that
And
was
then
it.
The Feral,
Infinite
yeah.
is basically exactly the same. Like literally all it is like, oh, you lost like half a second of your boost and you lose like a fewer ring. No, he plays exactly the same.
Yeah, I can't
Werehog's
believe.
nerfs were noticeable, but I'm not exactly
It's not
like,
enough.
content with them. They got rid of the boost doing a lot of damage, which I do appreciate, and like triple Dark Blast being gone is nice, but like they still need to address the main problem, which is the speed.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like I don't even think reducing his speed stat will work any further. Like I think giving him, isn't he like way below the average stats for a character? What is he at now? Is he at 20?
6'5".
He has a 20 total, which is like one of the worst special totals for a special. Like he has Reaper's stats -3 speed, and Reaper has like Chaos's stats minus a speed. So like they're really not that good, but he's still way too fast, which is impressive because like when you take speed and deceleration into account, he is the slowest character in the game.
Yeah.
Yep. If he's not dark blasting, he struggles like just running in general. It's crazy.
I mean, have you seen his running form? It's awful. Like, of course you
absolutely.
have
It's
he's running
terrible.
like
But
that.
man, the thing is with Werehog, man, is critical fucking hits. Like, dude, they are ridiculously common now. I don't know why they haven't been addressed and like, why that hasn't been solved yet, or why they just haven't strengthened electric attacks in general. I find criticals so annoying, man. Like, do you ever find yourself in those situations where you're getting critical hit by like level 6 Werehogs? Often no.
Yep.
Yes. Although once I also got crit by a max Werehog Storm Clouds, and that made me lose. That made me very upset.
That
Like,
is-
there's not a trend with it. Like some people say, like, oh, it's a bit below Storm Cloud. No, it can happen with anything. I've seen Zap Trap.
It is Zap Crap,
Zap
man.
Crap.
It is definitely Zap
What a
Crap, man.
name.
I didn't mean to call it Zap Crap, but I mean that's accurate.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
definitely.
The crit does more damage than the actual attack. Good lord.
Yeah, man, for real. It's such a shame, honestly. This leads me anyway into like what else came there recently, man. There was an update there before the end of the season. What do you think of the hackers, man? It took them so long to ban them. Why do you think they did it on day 31 of all days, like before the update? Why would they even consider that?
I don't really have anything because, like, of course, hacking is still only handled by one person, and that person could be busy or not. But like, I don't know if like having to deal with the Paramount permission stuff because of Tails and Knuckles being added like caused a lot of interference or not. I really can't say what's going on in house. I mean, the big problem is still that just the rest, like the company in general, doesn't seem to really care about it, and just the process is still just too limited.
Yeah, I totally get that.
Like, because you only have one person handling it and a few people reporting it to that person, but like that doesn't really work if that one person is busy.
Yeah, that's for sure, man. I mean, at least they did ban them in the end, but then they also introduced those goddamn new tracks. What do you think of the tracks they removed, by the way? Was it Red Gateway Reverse, Permanent Valley Reverse, and Sandy
my
Hills? What are your thoughts
God.
on those choices?
Okay,
Why?
okay. Those three are kind of weird for me. Pyramid Valley Reverse, I'm honestly fine with that track being gone. I wasn't the biggest
For
fan
real.
of that track. I didn't hate it, but like the start was just so. I guess like I don't know. It's just very easy to get clutch boosted there, and the start was also like if you didn't get the rings on the left there, if whoever got that could often just straight up win.
Yeah.
Exactly, bro.
Like I'm fine with that track being removed. Probably one of my lesser favorite ones. Red Gate Bay Reverse is I guess fine. I mean, I'm kind of just mixed on that track, so like it's acceptable. Dandy Hills was kind of a weird one. I really like that track actually, but like I also see why they removed it just because it's so like different from all the other ones.
Yeah. I
Like
think
you can
Sandy
very
Hills was
easily
great
just
though.
not get 100 rings. I've won with like 30 something if there's just too much spam. So like it's understandable, but I will miss it, especially because sometimes that was the game's best anti-cheats. I'll miss
Yeah,
that too.
it was, man.
Yeah,
Every hacker got
Jesus
destroyed on that track whenever they
Christ.
tried to speed mode. But some of them got smarter, man. They ended up getting more and more intelligent, the douchebags. But it is what it is. And then
Yeah,
obviously we
like,
got
if they had to remove 3 tracks, I get it. I mean, obviously the non-reverse mining mayhem I'd remove 3 times, but
yeah.
like
Yeah.
it is what it is.
And yeah, that leads on anyway to the 3 new tracks. I'm pretty sure, what are they called? Big City Sprint, Emerald Market Blitz, and like Downtown Dash.
And Downtown Dash.
Seattle,
Yeah.
Seattle, and Seattle. That's what they're called to be.
Yeah, basically we'll just refer to them as the easy, medium, and hard tracks because who the hell cares about the names anymore? Do you think the tracks have lost memorability over the last few like years? Like, what do you think of all these new tracks that they've come out with now?
It's not that they're not memorable. I guess it's just like once we get more used to them, we'll get it. Because like at a glance, like Suburban Speedway isn't that like memorable, and it's not a track that I like that much. Like I recognize it now that I have to deal with it for so long. I don't know. They all kind of feel weird to me. My main issue with most of it, with the first 2, is that they feel too flat.
Yeah, man, they're so straight and no dash pads, just a heap of obstacles scattered across the map with items put everywhere. Single
like,
dash
the
pads that
third
you can
one
barely
seems-
see. Wait, sorry?
Yeah, like the third one seems better, but like the first 2 just seem a little bit too flat
Yeah.
and like randomly distributed. Now, of course, I have to play on them first. I haven't actually played the game since they dropped, but that's just my initial thoughts of what I see.
Yeah, man,
They kind of remind me of a more flat Suburban Speedway with fewer dash pads, which isn't the most ideal comparison.
Yeah, and it's also not a very good track if you're being compared to that track as well, because there's also like much better tracks in the game to be compared to. That was definitely not the one. Like, there's definitely some
Yeah.
reminiscence to like other good tracks in the game, but they're removed or bad. But that hard difficulty track, people were praising the fact that there was rails at the end of the track, but like.
Oh,
I basically
why?
envisioned this like kind of predicament where you're going to be in first place, and some like vampire shadow werehog DJ Vector's going to start zooming up behind you and cloud you on that rail section very easily, because like you have to slide under an obstacle beforehand to go up the uphill slope on the rails, and jumping on an uphill, you know what that's like anyway, especially on rails, man, it'll be even worse. But them tracks, who do you think they
I think
cater
it's
to the
mostly
most?
the aesthetic people like with
Yeah.
that, just because it's a nice ending. Because like the only thing I like about Spiral Heist is that it starts with rails.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, to be fair.
Yeah.
What do you think of the whole, like, who do you think the characters that will do the best on that track will be?
Well, given a video I saw, obviously Werehog and Infinite are just gonna dominate as usual there.
Do you think Supersonic
I
sees any...
can see I can see a Taser-like character being kind of difficult to catch up with, just because kind of like if you don't hit the specific dash pad, you might have trouble. But on that note, also auto mine characters seem well, just because there's a lot of areas where you have to go on one specific dash pad.
Yeah, exactly.
You miss a few of those,
Yeah.
you're not going to be catching up as easy.
What do you think of, like, the big massive increase in items dispersion on these tracks? Like, they are planting items everywhere nowadays, man. Like, what's going on?
It's stupid.
I mean, it's not
hate
as
it.
bad as Mining Mayhem, but I think that's just like they just. I don't know. I do wish there were fewer,
Yeah.
especially in the case of like, oh, Infinite's just going to use his attack every second.
Yeah,
like, ugh.
Infinite. We're gonna have to definitely talk about Infinite later on and see like how we could logically approach getting rid of the problems that he has, because he's obviously going to be the
Oh, I
character
have
that.
so many suggestions.
Yeah, but he's going to be the character that's most likely not to be touched for a while, because obviously Hardlight like to squeeze every little inch of reliability out of a character whenever people have spent good money on it, depending on how well the character does.
Well, if
it
they
seems.
want people to use the other characters they're introducing, they better do something about it, because otherwise nobody's going to use them like they have the last 3.
Yeah, man, like the usage rate now for characters must have dropped significantly in favor of these 2 dumbass characters, because even for me, I tried to like avoid infinite for like majority of the season, and after like day 26, it just became impossible. You had no choice in the matter. You had to use him, and like there's nothing that can really counter it. As you told me before, it's like it can essentially become luck based. Like, and I kind of want to go
Like, if
into,
an infinite wants you to come in fourth, he will make you come in fourth.
yeah, legit man. If he has his eyes set on you, it's over. What do you think of that though, man? And like in the whole general hindsight of things, like do you think the whole like how much of the game is luck based at this point? Would you be able to give like a ballpark guess of what you think?
Well, when infinite isn't involved, it can feel not as luck based. Like, of course, you still have like how much does a player hate you, but like infinite in general can like just because the stuff is such free hits and like it's so track based, like that in general makes it a lot more luck based than ideal.
Yeah, exactly, man. How do you feel like dealing with all those items? Are you still uncomfortable like with like replicas and reality warps or?
Yes. Well,
Yes.
it depends. Replicas, like, for me, the annoying part is, like, well, I mean, I would probably get more into this when we're talking about Infinite in general, but, like, Max Infinites, when they get 2, I really hate that.
Yeah.
I also still hate the fact that they move, because a lot of deadly replicas I run into were, like, I'm in third, and I just get hit by a stray one that was moving that had no chance of hitting the guy I was aiming for, but I'm getting hit by it because I'm paying more attention to boosting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Eric? How do you feel dealing with all the infinites? Like, would you have any advice, or how was your experiences with infinite specifically, or what kind of like luck do you think's involved in the game these days? Because as you know, we already follow zero theory as we freaking coined it, man. Ryosuke stole our name, but
Initial D reference. But anyway, dealing with Infinite, it's just a pain in the ass, really. He hated it so much. It's because, like, what are you really supposed to do? The fact that like all of Infinite items are like so brain dead, and the debuff that you get from it, the illusion debuff, it's also stupid as well because we covered this last weeks ago, but it blocks dash pageant items, which is crucial if you're trying to catch up. And considering the fact that Reality Warp, Phantom Dash, and Deadly Replica do like E-mine damage, it's even worse in the grand scheme of things. I don't know. When it comes to like Infinite, what I really hate the most are like the lack of iframes that you get from its moves.
yeah, for real,
Because
man.
because you could like literally be front running, minding your own business, and then you just get hit by a stray replica on let's say a track like any Mystic Jungle track where there's more than 4 lanes. Like you accidentally jump, and clearly you're not in that lane, but you hit the deadly replica anyway because I don't know why, but yeah. Overall, I feel like Infinite needs to be addressed as soon as possible
Yeah.
for our well-being and for the sake of the entire player base because it's not fun anymore. You know, I literally choked my 7K because of a Max Infinite hunting me. Essentially, it was AIDS.
It was rad lag
But-
garbage. If you know that player, you know the player that was called I missed the infinite bot. It was that guy. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, man. These see all these evil players from the past, man. They're coming back for revenge with their infinites. Like infinites seems to be the ultimate villain redemption arc character for these people.
Like, god damn. Especially, like, later in the season. Like, matches just become luck-based at that point.
Yeah.
Like, completely luck-based. Because you're essentially you're praying who to get and who not to get.
Yeah,
But that's a story for another day.
that leads me anyway into something I kind of want to ask about now. There was another little addition to that this update that we've been meaning to talk about. There were changes to, I don't know what kind of terminology you would use for these traps, but like basically special traps. They've all gotten nerfed to having an empty lane now. What do you think of this?
It's a very weird nerf that I don't know should have been prioritized, but I also think it's fine.
Yeah,
Just
I
because
mean,
it's kind of something that I don't think should have been in the game in the first place. Like, why do you have stuff that spawns in all 4 lanes?
yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It doesn't affect that many characters, really, does it? It only affects like Santa Bega, ECS, Spring.
No,
Cream.
there's only 4. Well, I guess 5 characters because the movie Knuckles will probably have a trap that functions like that. But really, it just hurts Treasure Hunter Knuckles, which people hate. Like, I hate Rocky Road, so I mean that having an empty lane for a move that's just impossible to see is nice.
Yeah.
Flow
Yep.
Shot, which let's not overlook, that move is still really annoying, even though those characters are kind of irrelevant. And no more double hedge mazes being just complete bogus. Like, I'm glad that's gone.
Yeah,
Even if Buddy Boost, like, kind
Valentina's
of holds
Malden.
her back, but, like, hedge maze, rocky roads, just that stuff is just so annoying.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I mean, it's a very good thing to see, but, like, obviously I find it a little bit shameful that this has only been done potentially for, like, what's coming, which is this new spike trap that the Knuckles has. We'll obviously talk about them characters in a second as well. But, like, I mean, there's traps like Flu Shot that people don't even have leveled up past level 10 anyway. So it's almost ineffective for the most part. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like almost a thing where it's like it's nice, but like there are so many other things that it needs more. So it's probably just like a nerf that was needed, but is too late because those characters aren't that relevant.
Yeah, true that, man. I mean, it's a good thing now. Like Spring Cream, as you said, man, double hedge mazes and like these big green walls was very, very annoying. And even back in the day before the nerfs to the stumble damage used to be insane, man. Like you remember,
It's like a fireball, and then you got slowed down for 9 seconds. God.
Yeah, and also the severity from lane
literally
changes.
twice as good as it is now.
Yeah, the severity from lane changes was also way more significant back in the day. So it's very good to kind of see Hardlight taking a little bit of an approach with some stuff. What then the band, man? They got another nerf. Do you think that was warranted, or do you think that was necessary?
The band does need a nerf. I just don't think that was like exactly what it was. Now, admittedly, I think that if you just nerf the band's boost duration, then it'd be fine. But at the same time, I did think that the boost in particular locked out your items for way too long for a boost, and that I kind of hated.
Oh yeah, it used
So,
to
like,
last forever.
That's also another thing that's like fair enough. I just
Yeah.
don't think that it like addresses the main problem people had with the character.
That's for sure, man.
Cause I have had, but like, admittedly, I have had times where like, oh, the band hit me, and then I can't do anything for 5 seconds, and like, oh, I guess I gotta use 2 boosts, and this guy's probably won, and this wouldn't have happened if my items weren't disabled for this long.
That's true as well. What do you think of them, Eric? Considering you were a witness as well to like say Old Cream, which is what they're comparable to with their boost. What do you think like of the journey that Punk Zaz and DJ Vector have taken to Nerfland with all the stuff they have gotten done to them? What do you think of them?
I mean, as garbage they put on perfectly. It was like, I don't know. When it comes to the nerf, really, they just need nerf like the boost duration. After that, it would just be fine.
Yeah.
No complaints other than that. I think the silence debuff is a cool concept though.
Yeah.
So I'll give Harlot a couple points for that.
For sure, man. Well, obviously there was also those 2 new characters as Garbage has kind of highlighted already. We've got the new movie characters coming to the game. I've not seen the movie yet. Have any of you seen it? I mean, I haven't seen it, so maybe we'll get a talk about it.
I haven't seen it yet.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's not even out in America yet.
Oh
so.
damn! Really?
Nope.
No.
I think
is that
it's
you?
out this Friday.
Yeah, I'm for some strange reason I'm not as hyped for this movie as I was for the first one, but that might just be me.
I mean, this might be a controversial opinion, but I thought the first movie was pretty mid.
I thought the first movie was actually really good, man. Like, I don't
It
know.
was all right. I mean, I was more hyped for the first one just because I had a friend to watch it with, but I don't live in that area anymore, so I probably would just have to watch it alone. So that alone makes me less hyped for it. But
Man, I heard if you go to the cinema and you take party mode with Eggman into the cinema, you can enter into the theater for free.
just Valkyrie, everybody. You could get everything to yourself.
Yeah, if you put Honor Guard down, it breaks the door of the room that they're showing it, and you can just walk in for free. Especially if you use Eggman. Like if you use Motorbug, it doesn't work. But anyway.
So Tails can't enter the movie unless he's movie Tails then.
Yeah, movie Tails, man. But what do you like? I was gonna talk about this now. Like, obviously we got Super Saiyan 3 Tails or movie Tails and movie Knuckles. Which one of these you want to kind of talk about first? Because like we should probably try and.
I guess we could go with the Tails first because that one's coming
go with
out
Tails first.
Okay, man, no problemo. What do you think of him? What do you think of him like in terms of from first glance?
Alright, so I guess the big thing that I'm kind of wondering about is, like, of course, with this trap, I think it's called the MP shield.
Yep.
The thing that makes me curious is that it says you get a boost from it, but the question is, how much of a boost from it?
Yeah, so they said that
like,
Linebacker Omega shield that gives a boost. Do you think it gives a boost?
Actually, yes. I've seen them very, very slowly creep up on me when I know I have more speed than the linebacker. So,
I've
like,
not
I
had
actually
that.
do believe that.
Oh
But,
I've
like,
my
it's
never had that happen. Dude.
extremely
That's so
minor.
unlucky.
But, like, they definitely do creep up on you if they're spamming it, even if you're using a faster character. I know that for a fact, but, like, it's not very noticeable.
Yeah.
So, like, if it's just that, then yes, that's a speed boost, but it ain't much of one.
So, given the whole principle of AoE being absolutely insane in this game, what do you think of EMP Shield as, like, an item that's going to, like... What's it going to be used for primarily, do you think? Like, is it going to find much use, do you think, throughout,
I
like,
mean,
races?
Well, of course, it depends on how much of a boost it gives, but I'm just thinking, like, okay, maybe it'll end up being like Brutal Barrier, where just it kind of ends up just, like, getting in the way of everybody. Well, I guess you probably have a better projectile than a linebacker Omega has. At least you have more attacks.
Yes, true.
And his boost is better because it's not invincibility. Even if it's like Green Hover or something, that's better than Evince.
Yeah, and then Twin Tail Boost, the new boost. The description says take to the skies, racing ahead while staying ahead, or while staying safe from all damage. What do you think of this boost, or what do you think it's going to be like?
Again, I'm thinking that sounds like a Green Hover type of thing.
Yeah, it's going to be invincible from the sounds of things.
oh boy, the sandbag.
Well, I don't know if it's
potential.
invincible or you
Oh
just fall
boy.
over everything.
Yeah, see, that's where I'm very cloudy. Like, I don't know why it was saying staying safe. I think that's like a very peculiar thing to specify. Because, like, taking to the skies is the separate aspect of it. It's kind of like, you know, like how Entangled's, like, Tailspring description, they said leap fearlessly, and fearlessly indicated
Yup, and
invincible.
then it's just like, oh hey, leaping fearlessly means you can literally not take any. It's like, what?
Yup.
Yeah,
you're
so I wonder
invincible.
if staying safe from all damage means, like, you're invincible. Because, like, obviously Thundercloud will be able to stop this boost otherwise. Which would go against the description of the item, maybe, no? I don't know, man, I'm just speculating.
Yeah, you bring up a good point. I just don't know if they do both because that's borderline redundant.
Yeah.
Because you're invincible, just stay on the freaking ground.
And then obviously for stats, man, what do you think? What do you think the stats are like? The stats are pretty bad.
Speed.
Yeah, man.
6, 10, 6.
We haven't seen
Oh
this since.
boy.
Man, he's gonna end up being like Silver, the next 666 character, bro.
Okay, like 10 acceleration is appreciated, but like I guess the best way to think about it is like, what do you think of Lantern Silver stats? Like, how do you think they complement him?
Not very well. You don't really. Well, I mean, you do notice the 10 acceleration a lot. I do feel like he could have had more strength given his low speed. I think 7 to 8 speed is pretty painful to use personally.
I mentioned that because they have the same stats except Tails has one less speed. So just envision
Yeah.
that basically.
Damn, that's
In
actually.
other words, not very impressive.
Yeah, but that like obviously he is completely different kit. Like, well, obviously, do you think Whirlwinds and do you think he's gonna have like? I hope he doesn't have anything like Baby Sonic, like where there's upgrades. Like, do you think Whirlwind will be any good, or do you think?
I think he'll have a normal upgrade path.
Yeah, hopefully, man. That'll
Yeah.
be very good.
Like the thing about it is that like I think it can work. It just all depends on how good EMP Shield is because
Yeah.
Whirlwind is kind of a weird move. It's like really nice as a complementary attack, but that's all you have.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, it's pretty
it's
useless.
Terrible.
What I see, what do you think, Eric, of current movie tales on speculation? What do you think on them?
I mean, it really depends on, as Garbage said, his EMP shield and also his boost. If his boost is fucking like slow as fuck, then he's not really that good, is he? But now
True.
EMP shield, I have mixed feelings with.
Yeah, the main thing I see here at the moment is he's going to end up being like some crazy sandbag spam whirlwind Keen Young Evans style character, where you hold on to Twin Tail Boost for as long as possible, then you use EMP Shield and Clutch Boost past, because then obviously people can't hit you whenever you're in the middle of that. Like, EMP Shield is pretty sick. So I feel like that's how Tail's going to get used, especially by Wales, man. He's going to be pretty annoying if people can level him up pretty quick. People seem to love these movie events, man. It's so annoying, but.
Yeah, like my only concern would be like if he really has like say Whirlwind, Green Hover, like different Brutal Barrier, then how's he gonna beat a Werehog?
Yeah, exactly, man. In that situation, I guess it's all down to first item box, and he has more acceleration. But like Werehog's still gonna get an item anyway. You know how this game works. You can body block someone, and they'll still pick
No,
up an
it
item.
comes down to can the other player stop the Werehog because you're not.
Yeah, that's another good point that you bring up, man. There's a lot of characters like that, man, that have no chance. Like Ice Boost characters have no chance against Dark Blast. Dark Blast is quicker than a boost. So like, what the hell's the point in using? I don't know, man. Werehog's so cheap, but like obviously you got Infinite, man. This conflict between the two, like you can pick which one's worse, but there is like they're both the worst. Like It's just they're both the worst in their own
They're
rights.
both the worst. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
accurate.
There is no there is no superiorly most annoying. They're just extremely both annoying. Whether it's in second, third, fourth, or first, they're all aids, and that's kind
Even
of
in
like
fifth, they're annoying.
yeah. So I hope that settles the debate. But moving on to the new challenger, man, and would you say, man, that like your survey on YouTube is like was like foreshadowing for what was coming?
I mean, I didn't really put that out with the thoughts of like, oh hey, they're gonna be releasing another one. Like I was honestly expecting like Mephiles. I'm surprised that I was actually surprised that Movie Knuckles was gonna be a challenger, but it makes sense.
Yeah,
Now
it
it
didn't faze
actually
me.
does kind of address like some of the things that I guess I kind of put there. First of all, no infinite. That's so he's not gonna be like some stupid busted character probably.
Yeah,
It's
like
not at the end of the season, it's mid-season, which is a lot easier to swallow
Yeah,
as
you're
well.
right.
And it's versus a different character.
sorry, I was drinking some Lucozade. Shout out Lucozade. What do you think of this dispersion of stats? Like obviously, Infinite ended up with like 26 stat total. Challenger Knuckles ends up with 22.
939, the man has 3
9,
accelerate.
3,
Yeah,
9.
why do you think they would have like? Clearly, man, this either this projectile or this trap has to be game breaking to give a character such low acceleration, especially if they're just coming out.
I
in today's
mean,
meta.
are they really? I mean, I almost feel like they aren't like really distributing like character viability with stats anymore. I mean, linebacker Omega only has 21. He's the most niche thing ever.
Yeah, I think at 16 though he could definitely put in a bit of work, especially if you're a frontline.
Yeah, but like even there, he's niche.
Yeah. Obviously 939 same as Chaos, but I can't really recall how Chaos played back in the day because I didn't really have him unlocked. But what do you feel about this like trap, man? This trap, what's it called? Spear trap.
From what I'm reading, this might be like okay, a Boschosin that maybe like hits like a fireball instead of a whirlwind.
Oh, that's
Fair
that's
enough. I do
projectile.
enjoy
Oh,
Boschosin.
Oh, fearless.
Yeah.
strike,
Ring
man.
Portal is actually really nice. It's just obscure because Team Sonic is so not good.
Yeah, man.
But, like that's actually a really good boost.
Why do people play?
And
Team
then
Sonic?
like I guess the spike thing just seems kind of like flu shot. So let's just imagine like fire Boschosin, Ring Portal, flu shot.
yeah,
That would be good, but I don't know if it'd be good enough. And that 3 acceleration is just even with that boost.
yeah, it's gonna be pretty painful. I feel like you're gonna definitely feel the slowness of low acceleration.
Like
and boost
my
with this
main
character.
concern is once again like if Tails was like, what are you supposed to do versus Werehog? Knuckles is like, okay, what do you do if you get hit by an infinite?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna ask this question just out of curiosity, man. Considering that like all these other specials got their traps nerfed, would you be surprised if Spear Trap did cover all 4 lanes? Like, would that surprise you, or would you be pretty
It
confident?
would kind of surprise me because the
would,
conspiracy
yes.
theorist in me thinks that they might have left the lane open because a challenger bot would otherwise use it and then hit it himself.
Wait, that's a really good point. That'd be so fucking funny, man. The bot just
Like, I
destroying
already
himself.
feel like he's going to be struggling. He doesn't have a stackable infinite boost that doesn't lose rings, so he's just going to lose every race anyway. But, like, oh my god, I could just see him, like, in 4th, use it. He's not even close to anybody, and he just runs straight into it and loses by more.
Well, considering, man, he might be able to use it when he's frozen, man. Perfect dodge it, and he might home screen, man, and win the race. It's Movie Knuckles. Anything's possible. Nah, I don't know, man. I think your expectations are pretty accurate for how he's going to.
Does it look like I need your power? I mean, if you exploit, I mean, if somebody exploits, he might be exploiting too, so maybe he does need your power.
Oh,
I mean,
shit.
the bots can hack if somebody hacks.
Yeah, man, but I'm pretty sure they just defy the rules of the game anyway. I'm pretty sure I saw that with Infinite. Like, he'd be frozen, and he'd still activate Reality Warp. Like, that was so funny, man.
I mean, you could have Frozen Infinite stack boosts on you, like.
I wonder what it would have been like to like use 2 of those boosts at once. Do you think it would have like broke the game in terms of speed, or do you think like it just would have
Yeah, you would have probably activated the anti-cheat if you knew what you were doing.
probably? Yeah, that's very
Yeah.
true. I want to talk about like basically seasons, man. Like it's come to the point now we're nearly at season 50. That would bring us up to that's like 50 months, man. What is that, like fucking 4 years, man?
I mean, we're getting pretty close to. We're pretty close to. I mean, I think that season started like, I think a month tomorrow will be the 4-year anniversary of seasons.
Oh man, season 48. This next season, which is
Yeah.
the 4-year. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because like the first
Yeah.
season wasn't June
Holy
2018,
crap.
so like we're pretty much coming up on it. And then soon,
Do you
big
feel
50.
it'd be nice if there was a permanent leaderboard, or do you think seasons is a thing that should definitely stay within the game?
I mean, I'm fine with seasons being as is, just because I guess like it kind of makes sense with how personal bests are lined up. I wish they do something different with the prestige board though. It's just at this point, it's just gonna stay stable.
Yeah.
I also at this point be welcome with dropping.
Yeah. What do you think?
But like
of
to do that, I'd have
abolishing
to skip entire seasons, and I can't do that because I need the characters.
it? Yeah, that's true as well. Hardly have people and lips, man, that you can't escape from. I guess that's kind of the game design and purpose. But do you think like getting rid of prestige would be a good shout, or like do you think like what could they do with this leaderboard? Do you think, man?
I mean, getting rid of prestige might be a good call. You could also set it up in a different way, like have some other type of leaderboard there.
Yeah.
Like even like sorting it by personal best, but like
That'd be a cool leaderboard
just
to have.
I don't think the prestige board's gonna work. But at this rate, I also feel like they're not gonna get rid of it just because it's kind of a relic at this point.
Yeah, that's true as well. Yeah, I agree with you on that. I've done we've gotten pretty far into this podcast, but I haven't really gotten to ask this question. But like, what's it been like being a highlight mod? On like for the last you've been a highlight mod for how many years now?
I think I got one 2 years and 2 months ago.
Damn, that's a long time. How do you think?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Do you think would you do it all again?
Probably. Like the thing is that like I this game pisses me off. I think that does to everybody.
Yeah.
But, like I do like it mostly for like having the nice communication with Hardlight, being able to help out the server, and like I really like working with the mod team. That's more important to me than I guess kind of trying to have input, because like I kind of knew I wouldn't have that much input before I joined. But like I guess I do like just trying to help them out with the server, even if some people in the server are pretty annoying. But like I still enjoy doing it, especially because you can kind of go at your own pace with it. Like we're encouraged to not like stress ourselves out over it.
Yeah, that's pretty chill. That's pretty chill from the devs, to be fair, man. But how does it feel like just kind of like would you not say like sometimes you're kind of like left in the dark, so to speak, when it comes to a lot of decisions made by the devs? Like, do you think?
Yeah.
Like,
So some people think that we know more than we actually do. Like we're not like we're just volunteers for Hardlight. I don't know stuff about like events, upcoming characters. I can't ban hackers. Some people think I can.
yeah,
Like
there's
we're
definitely-
just volunteers. We're not devs. People need to understand that sometimes.
Yeah, I just thought like I definitely bring that up so you can hopefully clear it up, like so that misunderstanding doesn't really come your way often. Because obviously, man, you know yourself, people used to frown upon like moderators in the Hardlight server often, so like that kind of mentality's changed over the years, and that would probably be primarily because of moderators like yourself. You know what I mean? People that could relate. to
Yeah,
the
like
moderator.
I've literally had people getting mad at me for a hacker not being banned. Just like I can't. What are you
Yeah.
getting mad at me for?
you are the hacker. That is you. No.
I am all of them.
Yeah, no, man, I think that's like a really good thing that you do. I think in the grand scheme of things, because like it's good to have someone who's been experienced enough within top level play, has played as a casual and played as a noob once, be able to kind of like work and keep their server going, but while like also providing player feedback from themselves and people that you might be in contact with. Because obviously you called like the fireball nerf there, man, a couple months back with Supersonic, and there you go, man, it's come now. So like, did you feel like much of a visionary with that coming like now, or do you feel like your opinion?
I don't really know. It was kind of just a thing a lot of people proposed. Like I remember they had that feedback survey, and one of the things is like, how do you feel about Fireball? And it's like it travels too far, please. And then they actually like that was one of the things they changed about Supersonic.
I can't remember them like bringing up. Did they actually bring up Fireball individually at a stage, or is that because of the Hall of Champions? Do you think?
I think that was just them specifically addressing Supersonic rather than like
yeah.
anybody else, because I really don't think people like Fireball's always been kind of overpowered, but like people really hated the range of Supersonic being able to come back from that range.
Yeah, because he fireballed you once.
Because like if a Knuckles hit you from that far away, he wasn't actually going to win.
Yeah, he still lose. But the Supersonic, if he hits you at all with a snipe like that, he is very likely to win the race because everyone else has probably been destroyed by other fireballs. So it's been. I mean, that was a pretty good change, I think. The requirement then for 80 rings, that was something I felt something like that would have happened. That's insane. It makes a lot of like kind of like ice characters can do something very serious to Supersonic and possibly put him out of the race if he doesn't use his boost soon enough, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, Typho, I have a quick question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah?
Your mic is, like, acting up.
What's it do?
Is everything alright? It was, like, glitching.
Oh, crap. Wait. Oh, I see. Hold on.
We would like to sincerely apologize for the inconvenience that was caused.
I would not like to apologize.
Look, man.
You'll get no sympathy
I
from
apologize,
me.
man. I don't know what happened there, man. All right. Is it still there?
Oh, man. You sound better now.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're good. You're
I'm
good.
positive.
All right. Thank the Lord, man. That wasn't a good time for that to happen.
Yeah, it's all good. We're still experimenting, testing the waters, essentially.
For discussion's sake, anyway, I kind of want to see Garbage because I obviously value your opinion and I kind of see it as like possibly potential future for Speed Battle. What do you think could be done to Infinite right now to fix this broken ass mess that he is right now?
Okay, I have a lot of things I list. I guess I'll just kind of list them out one by one and see what you think about them overall, if that's
Yep.
okay.
Of course.
Okay, let's start with his stats. Why does he have two 10 out of 10 stats?
I agree.
That needs
I
to
think
go.
that at the very minimum, they need to get rid of his 10 acceleration. 10 speed is fine. 10 acceleration and speed, no. Like, why?
Yeah, that's very true, man.
Like, before getting into literally anything else, why do you think, like, maybe, like, if he had 8 or even 9 acceleration?
Yeah, I mean, if he had 8 or 9...
Like, what do you think if he had, like, 10, 8, 6, or even, like, 10, 9, 5 or something like that?
Yeah, I think, honestly, man, they need to bring him down a notch, especially in acceleration, because that allows him to recover from even, like, from every other Infinite attacks, so they can just sit there, spam reality warp, sabotage the race for
Yeah, and then
everyone
even
that's not
then, like,
using
it's
him.
not acceleration, like, that almost makes a 6 speed, a 6 strength, which isn't even bad,
Yeah,
almost kind
it's
of
above
negligible,
average.
because it gets all that back immediately.
Yeah, it's above average, man. I think he's just way too aggressively statted. Like, it's insane, man, because, like, if he gets the right setup, like, if he gets the right setup and, like, replicas people at the start, or, like, hits people at the start, he's gone. And, like, you can hit him with anything you want. He'll bounce back with his boost and win. But, yeah, I think, like, 10.86 or 10.95 or 10.85, something like that would do fine, honestly, for in terms of stats.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of, like what, I'll let you listen to the rest of your points if you have any more, actually.
I do have more, I guess, getting into now the effect. I guess kind of universal, I think that if he hits you, if you have a shield or iframes or invis or anything like that, the effect should not go through it.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Goes without saying, that should apply to, I think, every single move ever that has a side effect.
Yeah, man, that's another good point. Like, I don't get why iframes don't work with that. You still get hit by, like, hedge mazes as well, and illusion mines, or confusion mines, as they're called now.
Yeah, but, like, it's so annoying. Like, you get hit by Dima, it's like, oh, hey, say hello to 4 reality warps. Like, okay, I can't dodge these, and I care more about the effect than actually being hit by the fucking attack.
Yeah, man, pretty damn annoying. Do you think getting rid of, like, the stumble? Well, I mean, that's kind of what you were suggesting, wasn't it? Like, the stumble obviously should...
I don't know about the stumble, but I'll get into that more, because I guess another thing is that the effect itself, I'm fine with item boxes being blocked off. I'm fine with badniks being bad, but dash pads, I don't think those should be blocked off.
Yeah, that's a little bit strict. Or if they were to, man, they need to reduce the damage of the spikes. The spikes do insane damage.
Like, if you're gonna keep up the spikes, I'm not even joking, instead of making them do fireball damage, they need to do, like, captive light damage, or, like, rainbow blast damage, something kind of weak.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Just make it
Like, to
captive
the very
light
least,
damage,
where you're
really.
not, like, advised to jump over, like, 5 dash
Just no
pads
damage.
over eating 1. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure, man. What do you think of, like, Phantom Dash and Replica, then?
Phantom Dash. I honestly, I don't know how people feel about this, but I honestly think they just need to scrap it and give him a normal boost.
Mm-hmm.
You think?
Yes. I think that he needs to just have what illusion boost used to be. Maybe make what illusion boost used to be a little bit better, but I just don't see why he needs to have a boost like this.
Yeah,
it's
to be
like
fair, it's a very
Supersonic,
random
I
thing.
think, is fine this way because, like, okay, he can only use it once. Literally, his entire gimmick is about that, and if he falls too far behind, he can't do anything. But like, Infinite can get shields. He has flexibility. He can even hit a wall early with his boost and then stop it. Like, it's
Yeah, I
just
noticed a lot of them
it
doing that,
enables
man.
a
What the
shitty
hell's up with
playstyle
that?
because like they can sit in the back and spam you with the reality warp, and then they can eventually win. But like if the Supersonic does that, he's probably losing.
Yeah,
So
that's
I
for
just think he
sure.
needs to have a normal boost.
Yeah. And then yeah, I suppose that's like the only thing that they could do with it, man. Like, or completely rework it like that. But I think that was like the main reason why people invested in the first place was because of that long boost that he gave, and the cost of it obviously was warranted. But like looking at it now in the in the bigger picture, it's way too strong, and like yeah, it even beats out Supersonic now with his nerf for the most part, because a lot of Supersonics struggle to keep above 80 rings for the most part nowadays. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a real
Yeah.
shame. Do you think like, I mean, Deadly Replica, man, I feel at 16 is a little bit insane, especially if it spawns 2. Like I found in my experience that was like probably one of the main overpowered aspects of them. Like people be pushing the left button, push the right button, man. That's the crazy one to push if you want to use Infinite. But I think they need to like reduce the damage.
Yeah,
on it.
I think if you just get rid of the second one and max, it might be okay. I think Deadly Replica, otherwise, is probably his least effective move. And, like, if you are able to, I guess, just shield it, and the effect doesn't go through it, given the other proposal, then I think it might be fine.
Yeah, that would be pretty nice actually if you're able to shield replicas and not get affected by it. That would also be very nice.
Yeah, because, like, that's usually
Yeah.
the reason I lose, just because, like, okay, I just randomly got hit by it, like, for 120 seconds behind.
Yeah. I
I'd
mean,
also prefer it doesn't move, but like I might be going too far. I kind of just want to see how it is after that, I guess.
I think
But like really, just get rid of the
something.
second one and let you seal the effect, and that
Yeah.
one might be okay.
Shrill suggested to like put a ring requirement on his boost. What do you think of that? Like add like a requirement of minimum 50 or minimum 80 to use Phantom Dash.
I think that might be okay, but like I'd almost prefer it just drains more rings, and on top of that as well, if they do keep it like it is.
Yeah, that would be a pretty good shout actually. To
Yeah.
Be fair. Yeah.
Because, like, admittedly, I do think a ring requirement would be nice. Like, it is really annoying to like have an infinite like boost, and then it runs out, and then they clutch boost you because they're right behind you and still in boost range.
Yeah.
So that might be okay.
And in your opinion, man, what do you think the odds are of some kind of nerf for Infinite coming in the next few weeks to a month?
I don't know about the next few weeks, but like, it has to happen at some point. Like, there's no way they're not aware of it.
Do you think it'll happen end of the season, start of next season, or do you think it'll be later on, even further into the
I
season?
have no idea how hard lights like balance change scheduling works, so I honestly have no proposal.
Yeah, to goddamn, it's a real shame not having any clue.
Oh, right. Another attack, like the other thing that I guess I kind of want to do with Infinite, like Reality Warp. I hate it.
Yeah, reality
Yeah.
warp is, man.
It is admittedly a little bit tough to know what to do with that one, though. But like, I think at the very minimum, it shouldn't go through obstacles.
Yeah, they should do that with a
Ooh,
lot of
that's
traps. Because
interesting.
Rainbow Blast is the same; they go through obstacles, but like some traps do have to go through, like say Pink Spike or like what else goes through obstacles.
Okay,
man?
like that's fine because that's a one-lane attack. But
Yeah.
like, Reality Warp and Rainbow Blast are three-lane attacks. Like, why are those going through obstacles?
yeah, reality warp.
And
man,
then I
it's come a
also
long
think
way.
that the raise height needs to go too, even with the one lane. That's just it makes it very difficult to tell like where you're allowed to go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because you can very easily just see people like, okay, there's stuff in every single lane now, but which lane am I allowed to jump in? Because it's already so slow that you could jump over it and like, oh, you're going too slow. You didn't actually jump over it. So I just think that the race height needs to go and make that a little bit easier.
yeah. Not to mention, man, there's like boosts that I can't even outspeed the goddamn projectile. Like I'm pretty sure Green Hover and Golden Boost and Invincibility. I think you're the one that specified Invincibility for being brought to my attention. That is crazy, by the way. But like these boosts, if you're like it's like 70, 80 rings, man, Reality Warp still catch you on rails and outspeed you and hit you, and like that's absurd.
Yeah.
That's just AIDS.
And like once again, if you could shield the effect, it'd be a lot easier to accept the fact that it might hit you through your shield.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes it's just like, okay, I can't do anything about this attack anymore. Let's just shield it. Oh, okay, I guess I can't.
Well, we're coming up.
So yeah, I think that's about about all I got for Infinite. That was like 8 different nerfs. I could go even further. Like, I think you could be able to jump over Deadly Replica, and that would be a thing you could do. But like, it's just with so many of these characters, it's like, okay, you nerf one thing, it'd be fine. Infinite's like you have to nerf these 10 things for him to be acceptable.
100%. But we're coming up to the 55 minutes, man. So we're kind of coming up to the dead end of the podcast. For I suppose for the last question, man, I'll ask you, what's your like hopes for the game right now, man? Like, what are you feeling about Speed Battle right now? And like, do you have any expectations for the future, or do you just kind of take it on the chin?
I'm just taking it on the chin, but I'm honestly feeling more discouraged than like ever, just because things are taking so long. Like, I appreciate that they're having more balance changes than usual, but like the fact that they're still introduced, like, and even then they haven't introduced something busted in a while. Like, these 2 new characters don't seem like they'll be busted, but like they just, until they address the stuff from last year, which they introduced just broken character, it's hard to be that enthusiastic.
For sure, man. I think we can all relate on that. Like, Eric, you obviously had a bit of a disappointer of a season last season. Like, you obviously, like, that I think your emotions towards the game changed dramatically that night. What do you think, man, in terms of like what's going on right now? Like, why are Hardlight not focusing on what's going to be breaking the game rather than adding more stuff that could potentially break it further? Like, how do you feel?
Really? I don't know, because in the moment I was pretty upset, but I eventually learned to bounce back from this, because seasons will never go away for the time being.
Yeah.
So there's always a second chance.
For
literally.
Sure. And it obviously doesn't wash away the things you've already done as well, of course. But like, do you think the devs just like do not give a shit, or do you think they actually do care? Do you think there has to be someone out there, man, that's like preventing them from getting to these nitty gritty problems? Because they're just so simple. Like, now they've added like that audio issue with Rails, man. I don't know how someone could get so sloppy to leave that there. It's almost like either a troll or a complete accident. Like, I don't know about that one, but if they were to fix all these minor issues, man, and get it all out of the way, get some kind of balancing going, like, this game could go back to being peak Speed Battle again, because we haven't seen peak Speed Battle in such a long time, in my opinion. I miss it very much.
Yeah.
Like, even like pre-2021, I'd be fine. I know people were saying like it went downhill before the boost nerf. Like, for me, it went downhill when they just introduced just tons of characters that you can't compete with.
Yeah, honestly, man, I think it's a bit harsh to say, oh, it was April 2019. Like, I say that often, but if I were to like be completely...
I think it's harsh too, because like, think about it. I would honestly argue the game was like not that bad. Like, yeah, Takal was annoying, but like she didn't carry like a ton of people. And then after that, there were like 10 different viable characters that you could like all conceivably use, and like even a mediocre character like Tails or Amy, I was able to use them and be like, okay, I can survive this. But now it's like you have to use this broken stuff.
Yeah, I feel, man, that like...
So for me, when it went downhill, it was just with the band, because that's when that really started.
Yeah, man, there's so many different areas of interest where the graph just keeps taking different steepnesses of the curve, where it just keeps on falling and falling. And like, it's such a shame, because the popularity of the game ain't dropping at the same rate that the quality of the game's dropping. So we're just ending up with this massive mess of random players at the top of the leaderboard with their overpowered characters completely hindering the progress of others. It's just the way things are going to be going for the next foreseeable. Hopefully now, like, these characters ain't too broken, and I really hope to God, man, they don't have like some crazy other plans down the pipeline. But it'd be nice to see some kind of improvement in every item now in the game, man, because like,
wait until we get Infinite Werehog version.
Yeah, man, for real, these 2 characters just gotta go. They can't go, man. You and I both know that they can't go. But like, Werehog, something, man. Like, I don't know. We can't really discuss Werehog, man, because like, it's just Dark Blast at the moment. Like, we don't know what the hell's going on.
Literally just Dark Blast.
Just Dark
Nerf
Blast.
Dark Blast and he's balanced. Like, that's all you have to do. Like, properly nerf it and he's done.
Yeah, just butcher it. He's balanced.
Like, oh god, man. I could just see them bringing back something even more ridiculous than Werehog in the future, but you know, you never know, man. Hardly just love merging random ideas with other characters into one. As you know, Jingle Bell Amy is an amalgamation of characters that you'd never see together, but
yeah.
I mean, at least there's garbage.
Well, when I think of Chaos, I think of Zaz, though, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think that'll be a good note to leave it on anyway, because we're coming up to the hour mark, man. But I'd like to say thanks very much to Dumpster Fire. I'll leave your channel link in the description, by the way, if you haven't seen any of his videos. He's obviously been he's been in the YouTube game for a long time, and his content's probably like one of the best quality speed battle videos you're gonna find on the platform. So
Yep.
thanks to you, Garbage, for coming on.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, it's been an honor. Hey, we're very glad to have you because it's good to get perspective from other people, and especially people who do like voluntary work for the devs as well. Because obviously, you care for the game a lot more than the average person would, and like your investment shows in the work that you do. Obviously, on the Discord platform and in your videos, like you can tell it's proper like care for the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And Eric, man, cheers as always. Good to have you every time. You're essentially the staple on the cast. I don't know who we'll have next time, but one thing's for sure, it'll probably be someone who's part of the family. But I thank everyone very much for listening, and we'll hope to see you in the next week or two. It's been your boy Typh. Hope you have a good one. Keep safe.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Yeah. Take care, everyone.
Farewell.